Shall we recap last week's race?
Oh, it was a lot.
It feels like both a lifetime ago, but also still very fresh. I feel like no one's quite over it yet.
I don't think anyone is quite over it. There's so much that happened whilst also things not actually happening. It was weird. It's like every time they thought, hey, are people nodding off right now?
I said this, I was like, every time I said the words, it's getting a bit boring now, something chaotic happened.
Yeah.
I first thought because I was wearing a different top to usual, because I usually wear my Williams top and Williams are doing awful, so I thought I'll change it round, I'll wear my Esty Bestie top. Maybe that means then that the William gods will just give Williams the power, and instead it just unleashed havoc on the track.
Yeah.
I'm wearing that every weekend.
I think so, just to see what happens.
I'm not a superstitious person, but when it works, it works.
You should do it this weekend.
I'm gonna wear it this weekend.
Well, I'm gonna
wear it at Monaco next year.
There you go. That's what you need. Shall we get into what actually went down?
Should we start off with Isack's podium? Because that was quite a big moment for him. He has broken the trophy, but it was quite a big moment.
Of course he broke the trophy. I mean, as he was holding it on the podium, I genuinely, I think everyone was waiting for him to actually just break it.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Oh, no, okay, fair enough. You've got a lot of faith.
Yeah, of course. And he was like, he's really confident, apart from when he went the wrong way when he came out the door. Yeah. But, he was doing well. He looked like quite naturally belonged up there. And then because I haven't actually seen how it broke, unless it literally is just he picked it up and it separated into two bits.
He was holding it whilst the team were doing their photo in front of the garage. And
it just
broke. It genuinely just broke. It's not even his fault. At least I don't think so.
Oh, Isack.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy for him. I'm hoping he does really, really well. I don't want him to go to Red Bull next year, though.
And that's what everybody's saying. Mm-hmm. I mean, people are saying he may get that call before the end of this season, which is a mistake.
Yuki shouldn't have done it.
I don't think
Yuki shouldn't have done it.
Yuki should have stayed in Racing Bulls.
He'd be doing so much better in terms of his own championship if he was still at Racing Bulls. Isack can't do it because the fact that Jos Verstappen has come out and said that him and Max's team have been chatting with Mercedes and Ferrari means that you should not be in Red Bull right now.
At least I don't think so. And I think the problem is that, he could have the call and say that, do you want to come?
Conscription. It's the military.
But he could say, hey, we're going to promote you to to Red Bull. But the problem is that it's a new set of regulations, so you don't know what their car is like.
No, you're not even going to know what the current car you're in is like, because it won't be the current car.
Exactly. So I just really hope if he's gonna go in next year, they may have fixed a lot of stuff, because I suppose the last 2 years, and they've realised that Max can drive anything, but anyone else can't drive anything.
Yeah.
So let's make a car that we can actually set up and drive, because Racing Bulls have a car, and those drivers are often in the top 10. If Yuki was in the Racing Bulls car, he would often be in the top 10. At least half of the races, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I don't want to think about him going.
I know.
Arvid Lindblad absolutely deserves to come up into the junior team from F2. I am not arguing with that. But I just don't get rid of Liam. I don't want Isack to create the space, because I don't want Isack to go up, and I don't want the same, because I don't think Yuki's going to be in in Red Bull next year.
I don't think
by the looks of things. But I don't. Then no one's really going to pick up Yuki, so that's his career gone.
For sure.
In the matter of what's it been, 6 months?
Yeah.
If that. It's just going to be the same to Isack. And the only reason Sergio is able to come back on is because they're bringing in an 11th team. There'd have been no room for him on the grid otherwise. Look, Daniel Ricciardo's having to just, invent new things.
For Ford Raptors or something. I'm not quite sure. It
genuinely is a cursed seat, and I don't want... Isaac's too young to have his life dreams crushed at this tender age.
I agree. I genuinely agree. I think one more year at Racing Bulls, see what that Red Bull car is like when they've worked out that, because that's what you want. If I were Red Bull, I would keep Yuki.
Yeah.
Because that car is trash.
Yes.
I mean, Max can make it go fast, but besides that, it's trash, right? So you keep Yuki on for that second year, see how he does. Then you make that decision, right? Because then you can see, okay, if Yuki can do stuff with the car, in my eyes, and let's say he then has another year at Racing Bulls and he actually does really, really well, often top 6 or something.
Yeah.
Then you'd go, okay, we've got a car that's quick, and it seems that it can be drivable. Now let's put Isack in it. He's had a couple of years in F1, and he's like consistently being good.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
No, I'm with you there. We'll go on to a slightly more happier note for Red Bull, though. Can we appreciate Max celebrating Isack on the podium?
Oh.
Showing the McLarens how it is done.
Listen, I don't know what you were doing at Silverstone McLaren, but...
Oscar did learn his lesson.
Oscar learned. I'm hoping that all the online, stuff.
I hope they back off slightly, because it was, don't get me wrong, it was peak. Don't do it.
Yes, it was.
But my God, did they get like a backlash from it, which is, fair. But no, this is why Max has really grown on me the last 2 seasons.
He's just
really
a big brother.
And he is just a big brother.
He's a big brother.
I love that so much.
I agree.
And then can we also appreciate the acceptance for the McLaren trophy did not know how to spray a champagne bottle.
Oh, the CFO.
That's my favourite thing.
Yeah, the CFO didn't get the training on podium skills.
You'd think at the start of the year, well, after the second time when it's like, right, McLaren have clearly got this in the bag. They're 2023 Red Bull, right? You'd think they'd have done a team-wide lesson.
Right.
Hold an assembly. Make sure attendance is mandatory. If you want to enter your name into the ballot to go on the podium, you need to learn how to spray a champagne bottle.
Yeah.
But you might as well just pour it out like squash.
I heard, and this, I don't know what the statistic is like, but in terms of, because it's never been, no, that's a lie. But in terms of women that stood on the podium in F1, I think there've been like 12.
Oh no, good for her for getting on there.
You know what I mean?
Just learn to spray the champagne bottle.
True.
Please, like, it's not hard. I can do it when I open a can of pop when it's been in my pocket for a bit too long. If I can do it,
an accident.
Yep. Come on, I ask for one thing: do better this weekend.
Exactly.
Please.
Because they'll probably be on there somewhere, unless Ferrari can pull something out of nowhere. And Verstappen also looks quick, but that's another story. That's another thing. But
another time for another day. Another day for another time. Another something to another something. Should we get on to the dramas that were Zandvoort? Where would you like to begin?
I mean, we can start with what happened before the race even began.
Sure, let's go from there.
Lewis Hamilton. He didn't have a good week last week.
No.
His week wasn't that great. But the yellows.
Yeah.
He lifted.
Not enough.
But he's.
Have you seen the video?
I've not only looked at the video. They went through the trace.
Yeah.
So he technically lifted, but he didn't.
Which is why he didn't get 10 places.
Yeah.
But I think the worst bit about it is that you could have done that before the race. Give him the grid drop for that race. Because it wouldn't have mattered then, because he killed himself anyway.
Yeah,
but
or even
saving it for this
or
next
like
weekend.
a 10-second stop and go, or something.
Oh, don't even get me started on this 10 seconds for this race.
I mean, yeah, that's a
seething.
Yeah. But like that's what it should have been. 10-second penalty, and you did this thing. So in the race, that's what you just gotta serve it, and it is what it is. And then. Okay, cool. They would have ruined his race, but his race was ruined anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Then it would have allowed for a clean slate the next race. They've really got to crack down on, okay, if it happened this race, sort it out for this race.
The consistency is just shocking. I cannot stand it. I don't know what it is about the authorities in sports, but it's like they're just there to genuinely anger you.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it doesn't favour anybody. This is the thing. It's the same with football with VAR. It's like VAR favours no one. And the stewards in these races favour nobody, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's always this person, it's always this person." I'm like, no, you actually look at who favours from these decisions. It's no one. You are genuinely, and there is no polite word other than a swear word to use it. You're just effed across the board.
Yeah.
Like no one benefits, no one gains. Like it is so ridiculously pointless. There's no consistency. They hand them out left, right, and centre. You're not allowed to race. You try to overtake and you get a 10-second penalty. You think about going quickly, you get a 10-second penalty. You make an honest mistake, it's no longer a racing incident. I mean, it ruins sports.
I think in terms of with these regulations for F1, sport does seem to be
it's just rubbish.
Racing itself seems to be like...
It's more like WWE.
I do see what you mean. Like it just doesn't allow for that thing. I mean, when we look at the Carlos Sainz incident, I don't think anybody agrees that should have been a 10-second penalty. I don't know why they think it should have been a 10-second penalty, and I hope that does get somewhat overturned or something, because
then at least get rid of the penalty points, because it was a joke.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, all Carlos did was he was there. And
if Lawson hadn't have understeered, there'd have been no contact.
Yeah, and therefore racing incident. If I'm here and because you oversteer because of the dirty air of the car in front of you, then you collide into me, why do I get a 10-second penalty?
It's the whole thing is like he shouldn't have been there. Like, why shouldn't he have been there? It's a race, and he's in a race car on a race track. Why is he not supposed to be there? He was nowhere near being in the way. He was following his own line.
And he didn't push Liam off track.
He gave him so much room.
He pushed him into, like, off of the racing line, which is fine, because you're racing.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. But he didn't push him off the track. And because he didn't push him off the track, for me, I'm like, have things happen in racing, and let's just leave it at that. Why are we doing foolishness? Just
a racing incident. I've seen one more online who has agreed with the penalty. Yeah, everybody else is like, it's a racing incident. It's not Lawson's fault either. He can't help the fact that his car understeered. Yeah, but no one. It's just a racing incident. No one deserves that 10-second penalty.
I agree.
Speaking of people that do deserve 10-second penalties, Antonelli.
I mean, he got 15 seconds.
Highly unfortunate.
No.
Oh God, he needs a good weekend. I'm feeling for that boy and his confidence.
I am too. I think many people have said that he might be in F1 a bit early. That could be true.
Possibly.
The problem is that if you would have told, said that 6 races into the season, everybody would be like, he's doing so well.
Well, he's because 64 points or whatever it is that he's on came from those first few races.
Exactly.
And he's had 7 races now with no points.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
And so, but the problem is that the pace that Antonelli was on last week was good.
It was confident.
It was around Russell's pace. So I'm hoping that as the weeks go on, he's found his footing. He's to have cleaner, calmer weekends.
Yeah.
But he has to show that he's fast.
He needs to do a bit of meditation, I think.
He has to show that he's fast. He has to
stop speeding in the pit lane.
He has to stop speeding. Yeah, the rookie mistakes, I guess, but he does need to.
But they are also rookie mistakes that none of the other rookies are making.
I mean, Behrman has.
Behrman's a different man. He is a Behrman. Like but the thing is, he does brilliantly.
He can't he?
He went from. He didn't even go P20. He was pit lane to 6th this week.
Yeah, pit lane to 6th, which is insane. Like no one's talking about it, but Ollie Behrman did go from the pit lane to 6th in a Haas that wasn't really quick. Yes, safety cars helped,
and we did have 3 DNFs.
But
even still, the strategy calls, iconic.
Exactly.
Wonderful from Haas.
Yeah.
And just Ollie Behrman's drive in general was superb.
Yeah, he's really the overtaking king of the year so far, where unfortunately Haas tends to qualify quite far back, but they're able to do some stuff in the
their
race.
Actual ability to race is really impressive.
So in my mind, I'm like, if you always qualify 9th, where could you be? I mean, it's hard because there's the top teams, but where could you be?
Yeah.
Because of what they tend to do. So,
I was bringing that team, up.
Yeah. So we'll see. But
I'm excited to see their future too. But sure. as far as this weekend goes, top notch. But back to Antonelli.
Yes.
Please sort it out.
Yeah, sort it out.
I'm begging you. I want to see you do well. You deserve to do well, and you're just not doing well, and it's stressing me out.
I know, and he's adorable.
He's so sweet.
Apologise to Ferrari in the garage. It ruined both the races, but he's
his sportsmanship is second to none.
Of course it is.
He's a wonderful, wonderful kid, and I hope he can get past this.
Indeed,
I really do. Further Mercedes incidents. George Russell, him and Charles.
Yes,
they had a little bit of a moment as well.
Charles and George tend to get in a couple of scraps.
They do. It's a little bit like a domestic relationship. That makes it sound like every relationship has issues, which is not what I was going for.
The point is that
minor
maybe
arguments.
a slightly toxic one. Not toxic, but like, you know, they're the couple that always seem to argue, but they have been together for like 25 years. That kind of couple.
It's like it's never serious, but like it always kind of is, and someone always comes off kind of worse for
100%.
wear.
Like someone from the outside would be like, "Oh my gosh," and you who know them, you go, "Oh no."
That's just the way they are.
They're fine.
That's
That's
who they
what
are.
Charles and George seem to be.
Yeah.
A lot of, you know, on the line racing from them,
Which I do kind of enjoy. Because sometimes it is the only action that we get on track, but not this weekend. But
yeah, but I think
yes.
Charles really is pushing.
He's really fighting with those Mercedes this weekend.
Yeah, and so that's hard. And again, you know, it's Zandvoort. No one, I mean, it's really hard to overtake. So to overtake, you've got to do those.
You got to get your
crazy
nose stuck
moves.
in,
You got to do those crazy moves,
or your nose taken off in his case.
No, exactly. So yeah, what are you gonna do?
Do we think Mercedes are going to close that gap to Ferrari?
No,
You don't.
no. I think Charles is still being Charles.
Yeah.
I believe Lewis is becoming more comfortable with how Ferrari works. And I think as time goes on, because people have to remember that Lewis is smart. Lewis is not dumb.
Yeah.
He didn't get here by, you know, just allowing things to happen. But he understands that there's a lot of, I don't want to say bureaucracy, but a lot of bureaucracy in Ferrari. Things are already set in their ways. They're an old-ass team. So I think he's like, right, okay, how can I use this?
Yeah.
What's the best way to actually do stuff? And you got to try some stuff out, right? It's your opening season with Ferrari. You're finding out how the team is. You've been with 2 teams, won a bunch of championships. You know how those work. And they're very, in my mind, very technical in many ways. And then you got to Ferrari and they're very like, passionate and the traces are upside down. And you're looking at things, you're like, what's going on, guys? What's happening? The strategy calls are weird. You know, gelling with the engineer is maybe taking some time, and that's fair. It takes years to, you know, form those relationships. So
Yeah.
I think Lewis will move forward, and I think Charles will continue to be Charles and be the Ferrari king that everybody wants. I think Antonelli will take longer.
Okay.
George is brilliant.
Yeah.
George is a brilliant racer, everybody knows. But I think Ferrari just have that edge over Mercedes right now. I think at the beginning of the season, they actually looked quite good.
Yeah.
And now that Ferrari's sort of been like, all right, let's on the whole be better, Mercedes as a team drop back.
So do you think all the memes that have come from the Ferrari double DNF this weekend are the final ones we shall see?
Yes, I hope so.
They have been some of my favourites this weekend. Charles on the dunes.
When I tell you, I wouldn't have believed that he's left if I hadn't seen all the driver interviews for
They did just leave him
Monza.
there. They did just leave him there. My favourite thing, well, not my favourite thing, I wish they'd have done this. Tops, the trading card brand, who do turbo attacks and match attacks and literally every sports card on the planet. Every race, they have what's called Tops now. So they do a limited release of specific moments from the Grand Prix weekend. So like Hulk's podium was on there. Whenever Max wins a championship, that's on there. Isack got one this weekend for his trophy. I feel they should have done one of Charles on the dunes.
I think that'd be beautiful.
It was just a moment that was like, he looked like he was posing for his boy band album cover. I thought it was, how long they left him there was hilarious.
The fact that
people would pay thousands for that seat at Silverstone.
The fact that he had to ask for the phone of the photographer so he could make a call, because obviously he has no phone with him. And yeah,
I think my other favourite thing about that is if that were me, I wouldn't be able to call anybody because I don't have anyone's numbers saved in my head because they're all in my phone.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't know the password to any of my social media because my phone remembers them all for me. Yeah. So I'd take that guy's phone and I'd be like, I don't know what to do now.
You'd call, I don't know, like your mum.
999. Could you please put me in contact with the Ferrari CEO, please? Because I don't know how else to do it.
Exactly.
Googling Fred Vasseur's number.
Does he know his... No, you can't know his number.
That's what I'm saying. Who was he calling? Leo?
You know what? That's such a good point. That's actually such a good point.
Because I wouldn't be able to... I think I just about know your number. I know my own number. Maybe he called his own phone.
Oh, yeah.
And someone answered it.
That's such a good point. He called his own phone. Okay, that makes sense.
Of all the things that happened this weekend, this is the one that's been sticking in my mind most, was who did he call?
That's such a good point.
How?
I never thought about it, and now that's definitely what happened. You know what? You've cracked the case. And what I really hope is that the rest of the world already really knows this.
And it's just us being
and
blind.
we've been like, okay, so we've got to crack the case. We've got to solve what's going on.
We're making a murder mystery.
What's the mystery?
What's the mystery?
Honestly.
Speaking of drivers that were left on the sand dunes, Charles for some reason wasn't the only one this weekend.
Poor boy.
Poor Lando.
You know what?
I feel for him.
Is his title fight done?
No.
Of course not.
No.
There's none racing.
Absolutely not. Like, to quote Karun Chandok, what goes around comes around, or whoever came up with that first. I don't know. Buddha or someone.
I don't know.
Churchill.
Probably
someone inspirational.
One of them that they say things.
But
Abraham Lincoln.
no, I think there's still something left. It's a lot of a gap to close at this point.
For sure.
But do we know what the problem was? Was it the Mercedes power unit?
We don't know.
If it is, that's every Mercedes team customer now.
Yes.
So, Oscar, your days are numbered. It may be coming for you.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I think there's some issues with power unit. I don't think anybody is safe. No one has been safe. It's affected everybody if it is the problem. If it isn't the problem, then Oscar possibly will take it. But there's just too many external factors at play that literally just pluck one out of the hat, and that's your issue that week. But I feel for him, man, because it was 3 laps left or something ridiculous.
No, it was, I think, something like
just run the rest of the way, Lando. Just run.
Yeah.
Get a bike. James Vowles can lend you one.
Exactly. Another quick point or question. Do you think
Not really.
McLaren like Lando more? Here's my question. Or at least like the populace. And I understand when people say this. When Oscar wins, Oscar wins.
Yes.
When Lando wins,
McLaren win.
It feels like there's a celebration. And I think because, and I'm just going to give my 2 cents.
No, of course.
Is because Oscar's such a level-headed driver, and he's always just so chill, that also comes across a little flat.
He has zero emotions.
So you can't, like I wouldn't know how to celebrate a win with Oscar Piastri.
You couldn't invite him to your birthday party.
Because he would sit down and give you like kind of smiles. I'm sure everybody in F1 likes him. He's perfectly likable. No one has a problem with him, all that kind of things. But like, I'm not inviting him anywhere. And I think that's the difference. It's like, if like you win, I want it to feel like, oh my God, you won. And with Piastri, he's like, I won. Yeah, I'm happy. Great.
He doesn't care.
And he'd be like, oh. But when Lando wins, because he has a bit more emotion about him.
Lando's so emotional, though, in every way. But I kind of like that. I like when you get to see the raw emotion of a sportsman, because it shows what it means, and you latch onto it more, you appreciate them more, and you build more of a rapport with them, even though they don't know you. But like, you care for them, don't you?
For sure.
It's where everyone's enjoyment from sports comes from, is the emotional side of it.
For sure.
I've never known it to be any different. But what I will say is it's an interesting point, because going back to, like, the early 2020s, and I think Lando was the golden boy to begin with, because they brought Daniel Ricciardo in afterwards. They didn't treat him ideally, but Lando was always on a multi-year non-disclosed contract. Daniel was only there for a couple of years. Then Daniel had his contract ended early when he wasn't up to performance, so they brought Oscar in to replace him, with the idea of he would be the support for Lando. It's always been to support Lando. Lando's always not been their main driver, but like he has, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one to think about. I don't know. I think it makes it difficult because Oscar is so unattached.
Yes.
Which is what I find really interesting, is because there's so many Oscar fans. We know so many Oscar fans. And I struggle to see why they're fans of Oscar, because I don't know what there is to like. Not that there's nothing to like about Oscar, but in terms of like the McLaren boys, I find Lando is way more easy to understand.
Yeah, because he feels like a person.
Yeah, whereas Oscar's very, I don't know, maybe people just like that about it now, but I personally can't. I want him to do well. It's not that I don't, but I just can't be a fan of him per se, because I just don't have that emotional connection to him.
Exactly. And I think it's why we are quite not big, but we quite like Max right now.
Yeah,
because
we didn't like Max before. That's the thing.
Exactly. When someone feels a bit too much of a robot, or I mean, to be honest, then Max has other things, like he was quite angry all the time, or he was a bit of a Karen, but. He's really now, because he's not fighting for a title, you can see more of him. And I quite like the bits of him I can see. But with Oscar, I don't know what Oscar is like, so that's what...
Yeah, because there's no frustration from Oscar either on the radio that you really see. I mean, okay, you don't get to see everything, but like you see the emotion of Charles, of Lewis, of Carlos, of Albon, of Lando, of everyone... being like, oh, I've gotten this, or what's going on here, guys, or what the hell's happening, or how can I do it when this isn't being done?
Exactly.
And Oscar's so, like you say, almost robotic about it. It's just, it doesn't quite break down that layer of, oh my God, I love him.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's just a...
It's not that I don't like him, I just can't...
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing to latch on to.
I can't latch onto him as much as easy as I can. But there's no real driver that I dislike.
No, of course. I was just saying, it's like it definitely feels like... And Lando wins, it's like Lando won, and Oscar wins, it's like Oscar won.
Oscar won.
And I just wanted to...
No, it's an interesting point.
Your 2 cents.
No, for sure. I think it's a very fair argument, and if anybody is an Oscar fan, please let me know why. Because I just want to know what it is.
That's funny.
I don't know.
That's so funny.
Sorry.
Let me know why.
But yeah, looking forward to... Where are we this weekend? Monza. It's going to be good. Let's see if the Ferraris do what they always do and just make a car that wins in Monza. I assume McLaren will be on form, as they always are. Well, we'll see.
Exactly.
Because it wasn't at the end of that last race.
Well, McLaren was on form. It just there was an issue
the car
with
wasn't.
Something happened. So, yeah, we'll see. But I'm intrigued. I'm interested to know. We've gone from like a really high downforce track to a really low downforce track. So let's see how quick these straight line speeds of these cars go.
Temple of speed, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I look forward to it too.
That was a week of a whole lot of foolishness. I'm hoping...
But I want more of it.
I don't want foolishness. I want overtaking and good racing. That's what I want.
That's what foolishness is.
I suppose.
Chaos. We look forward to Monza.
See you next week.